Like, oh, you did not win tournament. You lose toe.
Deuces, episode 14, Dago Bugo. What are we talking about today?
All right, to Pope Leo. All right, today on the warm-up, like you said, episode 14. It's been a while. Last time we recorded was in March.
Yeah.
We're really bad last month. All right, our pro player is ready to break the status quo. We'll catch up on the end of the Sunshine Double and the transition to clay. Looks like Federer wants to make a comeback. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Player spotlight, good and bad. Our court to camera, average Joes, local tennis segments, and so much more. Before we continue, hit that like button, comment, share, send us to your friends, subscribe. It really helps the channel. Support us on Buy Me a Coffee. I'll put a QR code somewhere on the screen, and the audio will be available wherever you get your podcasts. All right. So first off, let's talk about something important. You got your Knicks hat on.
Yes.
You guys closed out my Pistons in 6 games. Every game was close.
That was a fun series.
And now 2-0 over the Celtics.
Down 20 points in each game. And now we're heading to the Mecca MSG Saturday at 3 p.m. So excited.
My goodness. What's going on? Is it the new Pope? Is it Pope Leo? What's going on?
So Pope Leo went to Villanova. So definitely praying for the Knicks. And because the Knicks have a lot of Villanova players, I think 4 of the 5 starters went to Villanova.
Oh, that's awesome.
And what else does the Pope like to do?
Well, let's bring this back to the reason of the podcast. He considers himself, what was the quote? I consider myself an amateur tennis player. I will show on the screen the cool courts at the Vatican.
Vatican has their own court.
Yeah, so...
He was in Peru. He hasn't had much time to play, but he wants to get back in the play, he says.
So, yeah. So I'm sure he'll have plenty of time between his popely
American.
duties.
So you got American, same name as you, went to Villanova, the Knicks are doing well, and he likes tennis.
Everything's coming up aces.
Right up my alley.
Oh, and
If my mom would be like, oh, now you gotta go to church.
it's a sign you have to go to church. Oh, and I got a new wife got me a new t-shirt. I'll show you in the back, but it says Lucky Tennis Club, and on the back it says it takes balls to play tennis. I'll put it on the screen too, so that's cool stuff. All right, let's do a little catch up on some pro tournaments. So
Watch some tennis.
yeah, so let's start at the local one, the Sarasota Open. We saw we were in Karue's video for a little bit.
Challenger tournament.
Yes.
And we went the opening day at the Sarasota
Sports Club. Yep.
Windy day.
Yeah, windy conditions.
Not many
for sure.
people there.
Not on the first day.
What did I notice? These guys are really good. Some of them were really small.
Yeah.
Some of them were huge.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of calls. The umpire had to get out of the chair and look at the clay. Karue, who has a big YouTube following, was there.
Yeah.
What about the people next to us?
So they were a couple from Canada. They were down in Florida, I think in the Jacksonville area, just kind of on vacation. They heard Karue was going to be in Sarasota, so they drove 4, 5, 6 hours just to see Karue play. They looked to see when he was going to be in the schedule and made their way down. And which kind of sucks because, Karue played like what?
3 games?
Like early in the afternoon, and 3 or 4 games, and then he injured himself. So
he tore his calf.
Yeah. No bueno.
It was kind of even, but he's playing a really small guy.
I thought he would have taken him. I felt like it was close at first. I just felt like Karue was just, I don't know, it was nerves or what he was missing. He was tight. Yeah. But then once he figured it out, I felt like, okay, he's going to steamroll, and then he hurts himself.
Yeah, he went for like a drop shot, and he tore his calf.
Yeah, that sucks because you saw his video on it, right? Where he was going to like make this run to the French Open. And
Well, qualities.
Or qualies at least. Well, that's something, right?
Oh. Yeah.
So that was cool. I mean, I like what they did at SSC. We sat next to Lahals. I can't think of his first name.
The guy from Estonia.
Yeah, the cool hair.
That's right.
His mom was in the stands next to us when we were.
Told us he's not a clay player. Trains at in Patrick's.
Martaglu. Yeah. Okay, cool.
He had his tonsils out.
Oh yeah, he was out for like 6 weeks or something like
Unable
that.
to train.
Okay. So that was cool. I mean, so we've been to this tournament when it was at Payne and a couple times or a few times, and first time here. I mean, it's going to be here at SSC for 10 years. Incremental updates to fix the facilities. Obviously, the lights are the next on.
Yeah, they didn't have lighting that was
Up to standard.
up to standard.
So all the matches had to stop when it got by like what 7 or so.
Yeah, 7:30.
7:30. Yeah, ish. I mean, that's still pretty late, but there was no night matches, so that probably kind of hurt them for attendance.
No,
But
there, really.
yeah.
We were there on a Monday afternoon.
Yeah, Monday. It was on the free member day, so. So, what'd you think of it in comparison to location? I mean,
I thought it was great. More room to walk around Payne Park. I thought that the tennis was, like I said, it was windy, which is always tough to play, and really good. It's cool to just be literally you can stand right next to the court.
Yeah.
Or just in the bleachers. We were in the shade. They had a nice setup.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recognize any of the players. The top college player from Texas, I recognized.
Yeah.
Spreezy.
Yeah. Spursy, yeah. He did. I don't think he got far.
I think he lost second round.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know the winner. But
It was at I want to say his last name's Nala. I'm probably wrong, and I'll put it on the screen. But that was like his third challenger win in a row. And then the next one was Tallahassee, and he got to the final. I don't know. I think he may have. He's in the running to qualify for the French qualies, obviously. But
these guys are so good, and they make no money, and they're just grinding on this tour to try to get into qualies of main events, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't know how that all works. Like, I think your hotel's kind of pseudo guaranteed for a certain amount of days, depending if you're still in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably give you food, right?
I think you get some type of stipend or something. My understanding, and we'll talk about it at the different levels, but like the future used to call it futures or ITF. It's like basically you're on your own, but then challengers is, I mean, it's a step up from the ITF, and it's a step below from the the majors.
Yeah.
ATP tournaments, right? So I think you get something. I think Karue was saying that his hotel was good for the week, but I mean, he just left when he was hurt. So
it just seems that it's guys that are on the come up, 18 to 23, a lot of them, and then guys that are
they're all around 200, right? They're like around that 200.
Around
200 high
2 to 3.
To I think at 2 closer to 3 you got to qualify for it.
Okay.
And then I think around 2 or high hundreds.
Okay.
Right? Like 180 or 200-ish. And then, yeah. So, I don't know. So, that was fun. It was like in our backyard. I look forward to seeing what that's like.
Yeah, definitely going to go over here.
Yeah.
It's cool that it's at that club now. So
Yeah.
it's better.
It's more space, right? It's, I hopefully they'll make it better. And
We also went to an ATP event in Florida.
Our yearly trek to the Miami Open. Apparently it was record attendance on that one. I didn't realize that. It was record-breaking 405,448 fans.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. That's a lot of people. I still don't like the stadium inside the stadium.
We lucked out. The weather was cool. It's usually extremely hot in March in Florida. It really hasn't been that bad.
No, I mean there were a lot of
Entire year.
early exits.
Yeah.
We went the second
We went
week.
Sunday night.
Yeah, Sunday night.
Second week.
Yep, and then Monday
Day
session, and we headed back. And luckily, we didn't get rained out like we did last year.
Yeah, we saw Anisimova, Andreeva, Monfils.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who else we saw that Sunday night.
Yeah, that was back in March, man. I don't remember all the matchups. I remember
We saw Tiafoe.
we saw Tiafoe, Feast.
We saw Fritz.
Yep.
We saw a lot of players.
We saw a lot of players. It was good. It was good to. It's a fun tournament. I mean, I felt like the grounds around were better than maybe last year.
The best is the grandstand because you have really high-ranked players and you're there close. There's only one section that's reserved for ticket holders.
Yep.
The other one is, just wherever you sit. So we spent a lot of time there. I think we saw like 4 or 5 matches there.
Yeah, I think that second week there was only like 5 or 6 matches happening at the same time, plus maybe a doubles match that we didn't get to, or 2. Yeah, but
and then the stadium, you got a good deal on the tickets. We were 200 level.
we were baseline like 100 level or something, but still kind of high. Still kind of high. Yeah. We should maybe, we'll see. Maybe next year we try to get down close if the prices are amicable. Because I got down, that was a couple years ago when I got there before you guys did. I went right on the side, literally court side, bought it last second, and it was really cool to be that close.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, the stadium was cool. Yeah, it's just not like the other stadiums. It's not a tennis stadium.
It kind of, when you're in the cheap seats, you really notice like the outside stadium or the stadium outside the little stadium they built.
The grounds were great. We tested a lot of the tequila.
Yeah, a lot of tequila.
If you want to drink, it's really easy to find out. Wherever you look, there's a bar.
Well, at least this year it's tequila. I remember years before it was just vodka and beer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not a big vodka drinker, but I will. Obviously, I drink beer, and gin. They had gin, but tequila was everywhere this year. Yeah. They had some new sponsors, so it was awesome. Yeah, it was good. It was good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we try the Del Rey too next year. I don't know. Yeah. I got a buddy of mine that's like, hey, I'd like to go to Del Rey. I'm like, all right, well maybe we'll try.
A couple times. It's good.
Yeah. Is it just all on one court or oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a 250, right? ATP, I want to say, or 500. No, it's got to be 250. I'll look it up. Yeah. All right, so other tournaments happening. Madrid. Casper won.
So they have that stadium like the Dallas Cowboys with the open roof, and it's either sun like covering the whole court where you just can't even see the ball.
That was terrible on television. All I saw was, I like the jokes were like, well, it must be nice not seeing a quarter of the court or half of the court.
And the shadow part, you couldn't even see who's on the other side. It's like black. Really a terrible viewing.
I think the powers that be were not happy with it because the power went out right first.
So a couple matches were played, and then
then power outage, and they couldn't keep playing because it's all electronic calling. There's no lines people, so you can't trust players that make their own calls apparently. So that was funny.
Draper was just smoking everyone, and then they had a final versus Rude, and hey, it's good to see Casper Ruud playing well again. He had mentioned
he's destined
therapy. Helped him, and I guess he's engaged. That always helps when you have like a support system in place.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Forehand is back. He was ripping shots, and I don't know if you watched it. I watched it last weekend. It was a 3-set match, and it was pretty close.
I've been
Draper
bad.
I don't know. He seems like destined to win a slam at least, or maybe even compete for the number 1 in the world. He's that good. Lefty's huge.
He rips those balls, man.
Bombs, but it seems to be like nerves and
Well, he doesn't handle the extreme weather well, right?
I don't think it was extreme weather. He just seemed like kind of nervous. Like he wasn't throwing shots, and Rude was. He even said it in the post-game ceremony. Like, you played braver than me. But
that's usually Rude's problem. You know? You're usually.
I think this is the first 1,000 he's ever won.
It's the first time. He's gotten to a lot of finals, but he's not.
French Open finals.
Yeah, he's gotten to a lot of finals, and I always wondered, like, what does he need to get over that hump? And I don't know. Hopefully, this is it, but we'll see.
Yeah. Now they're in Rome. Sinner's back.
Yeah, Sinner's back. The crowds are out to see.
Oh my God! It was like the Beatles. But now that I think about it, this is their only tournament.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
And he's back.
And they have a lot of good Italian players now. So
There is a lot of good Italian
plus
players.
the number one in the world. So I guess that's what all the excitement is.
Must be nice.
It looks like a really cool event to go to, like the statue court. I forgot what it's called.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Something.
I've personally have had a hard time. A, I've been busy, but B, like, which one was 2 weeks? Was it Monte Carlo or was it Madrid?
They're all 2 weeks.
They're all 2 weeks. They start in the middle of the week. I don't even know where. I don't even know what tournament's playing.
So it's Friday right now, and they're playing Rome, and Zverev just played his first match.
It's so weird.
The top ones, they get the first.
Yeah, they get a bye, right? Yeah, so yeah.
Wednesday, yeah.
It just, I have no frame of mind, like, where are they and what round it is. I just.
And they're not going to change that because they're getting that extra revenue by more tickets and more days. It's better with 1 week.
I agree. All the podcasts, just make it 1 week. But then again, would you want, I don't know. I mean, Miami and Indian Wells are 2 weeks each, but I don't know.
This is all recent, though. The last couple of years. It hasn't been like this.
Right, over there. Right. Well, Indian Wells and Miami have been.
Miami was that.
Yeah, Miami's been 2 weeks. Indian Wells has been 2 weeks. It's been like that for, I don't think their tournaments have been like that.
Right.
I think they've been like 1 week for the most part. I like the 1 week.
Me too. Just like you said, you don't know what round it is, what's happening.
I mean, there's been so many changes. Like, remember Madrid used to be hardcourt at one point, right? That used to be a hardcourt tournament, indoor. Yeah, it used to be a hardcourt tournament. I mean, back in the day, I think even Miami was 3 out of 5 sets. Back then in the finals, so they've changed this shit around so much.
They should do that for the 1,000s, make the final 3 out of 5 sets.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Just make the final 3 out of 5 and then make
they
it.
Have the rest, like.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
They're not changing that.
They're not changing that. They want the money. They want the revenue. Yeah.
Revenue and more days.
So we are now 10 days away from the French Open, or it's called Roland Garros now, right? Roland Garros on TNT, not sponsored, but we could change that, can't we? Anyways, French Open around the corner.
We're calling it the French Open.
I'm gonna call it French Open. Roland Garros. I noticed all the stuff.
The Italian Open.
Did you see the Inside NBA where they were like Barkley and the whole crowd? They had rackets and they got a tennis pro locally, and they're gonna teach us how to play tennis. Let's talk about how awesome Roland Garros is coming up. I'm like, okay, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching Shaq try to serve. But
it's gonna be good because TNT does the baseball playoffs, the hockey playoffs, the basketball, and they do a really good job.
Yep.
And it's well produced, and they get. Who do they have? They have Johnny Mac,
Sloane Stevens, Venus Williams, Jim Courier, Chris Evert, Lindsay Davenport, Caroline Wozniacki, and Andre Agassi will be on the mic.
That's going to be awesome.
Now, I would love to see, I don't know what the format of this is going to be, but if they do an inside NBA for like inside tennis, that'd be awesome at the end. Like, I love that. I love that show personally. Yeah, I mean, they're probably not going to do that. Oh, whatever. We're not going to worry about that camera. Yeah. The backup camera is having issues. But
something like that. They'll have a studio.
Yeah.
And that's what's been good. So I'm sure it should be interesting.
I love Agassi. I mean, Agassi's so technical. Yeah. You know, every time I hear him talk about tennis, he's so like, strategic and this and that. And
cool.
I mean, the only fault he's joined the pro pickleball league or tour, but whatever. That it can't all be perfect. He was in Naples like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he's into it. But Johnny Mac and Karue are the best. So
Yeah.
they have the two best. So yeah.
Yeah.
I
Looking forward to it.
HBO Max
Mm-hmm. Yep.
owns I think Miramax? I don't know. TNT, they all are owned by the same company now.
They're owned by something. Same
You can
company.
watch on HBO Max.
That's awesome. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. They want you to stream it from your phone.
Yeah, you're having challenges with the playoffs, with the NBA playoffs, right?
So
Trying
let's
to
talk about a little bit more about the French Open. So,
All right.
I guess we're going to see how he plays in Rome.
We'll see how.
Sinner, Alcaraz, I don't know. I guess you got to throw Rude and is
I
Joe playing, right? Like,
Yeah.
not playing Rome?
no. He'll probably play. All right, so here's my thoughts. I think you're right. The top two are obviously Sinner and Alcaraz, and everyone else is a close second.
Yeah.
And Djokovic is just
And
a very
You have to throw Draper in there.
well. I mean,
Not good.
Draper's good. There's a bunch of guys that are good, right? Rude could win it. Zverev,
He's not played well all year.
Fritz could. I don't know. TFO could, but I don't think so either.
Americans, this is clay, you know?
You're right. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I
We'll
haven't.
see. It's Alcaraz's health, and Sinner is
Yeah.
if he's rusty.
I think Rude would be a strong contender for Clay for sure. So, but we'll
They
see.
were having Sinner just practice at center court, and it was filled, and people were going crazy, like just for the practice.
Wow.
I think it was Zverev, and I think he practiced with Rude one day.
I haven't watched any of
We'll
that.
see how he does. I think he plays tomorrow, his first match.
Do we know who he's playing at all?
Navone, is that a guy?
Let's take a quick look to see. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh well, we'll look it up later. But and then the only other I think from majors notable item to bring up, Wimbledon's moving to electronic calling too. So
We also got to talk. The top 20 players wrote a letter to the major.
yeah, we can talk about our pro players really fed up with the status quo. So okay, so
Yes.
the PPTA files a suit against the WTA, ATP, WTA, and ITF. The short of it from the executive director of the PTPA, I'm going to get those letters wrong, was tennis is broken. Players are trapped in an unfair system that exploits their talents, suppresses their earnings, and jeopardizes their health and safety. We have exhausted all options for reform. Fixing these systematic failures isn't about disrupting tennis. It's about saving it for the generations of players and fans to come. There was 22 players named in the suit, including Kyrgios, Opelka, Popsil, Moutet, Christian Harrison, to name a few. Some of the accused of tennis orgs are colluding with each other as a cartel to fix prize money and reduce competition, unsustainable ranking system, disregard for health and well-being, financial exploitation and privacy rights. I guess, the drug test is a thing. The randomized drug test is kind of a pain in the ass. And I guess there was one instance about confiscating and searching through players' mobile phones. I don't know what the heck is up with that. As you would expect, all the major organizations are like, we don't agree with this, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. I mean, the way, because you take suit because you want monetary, like what's a court going to do other than give a monetary compensation for relief here, right?
Well, it's a method to bring them to at least
Yeah.
to the table to negotiate
Sure.
and to make some changes. A
Yeah.
couple things. One, Novak is involved as starting the group at PTPA.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the lawsuit. I
No.
didn't understand that. And then I didn't understand they didn't go to all the players. They asked Alcaraz, and he's like, I didn't know anything about it, which was not a good move either. But they're getting screwed. The prize money they're getting 13%, where the NFL, the NBA, they get, I think it's like 35, 50.
They're not getting revenue
I don't know
share.
what the golf is, but it's similar. I mean, the golfers are, they're essentially contractors. It's the same thing. I think it's just been like this for a while. And we have all these different governing bodies, and I think these tennis players are frustrated. The season is way too long. It's 11 months. They make them play specific tournaments, like with this ranking system.
Yeah, you have to do all the
Not
1000s.
getting paid enough.
Mm-hmm.
The lower players, if you're out of the top 100, you can't really make money.
You're struggling. You're struggling if you are out of the top 100, for sure. There's not a big. I mean, yeah,
The US Open gets like $1 billion.
Right, and they get barely anything. So it's.
Drink
Oh yeah, the U.S. Open drink. What the heck?
It's not Double Deuces.
No, that'd be cool. Honey Deuces. Yeah.
12.8 mil.
Yeah.
And that's more than the combined prize money.
Right.
They make that with the drinks.
And the drinks.
One drink.
And they're using the players probably for hooks, and likenesses for all that crap. But
they are getting screwed big time. It's good that Novak is involved, but he's sort of on the way out. They really could have used Fed and
yeah, they should have had some big names behind it.
Rob.
Yeah.
The problem is these guys they're making so much money at the top. Like this is more for the players more at 100 and below. But
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We just went to that event in Sarasota, and those guys,
they're all playing for like
people don't know they're out there, but they were kind of out there, and this is a club in Sarasota, a normal venue. They can make money. Like people would go see that. It's
absolutely.
These guys are good. Like
they're
golf has this Corn Ferry tour that people go and see. They got to make changes, and I think they're going about it the right way. Go through the legal system.
They got to do something. Well, the weird thing about I don't disagree with the PTA doing this at all. I mean, if you're not getting anywhere trying to negotiate with these organizations, shed some light to it.
Yeah.
But then, did you see that the top 20 players of the ATP and the WTA wrote a letter to all the 4 Grand Slams? Basically,
they want them to contribute more to funds that the ATP and the WTA have. They want more prize money.
It's the same thing-ish, right? I'm like, why is this separate from the lawsuit?
Because the lawsuit because the Grand Slams are separate. They're separate entities.
Yeah, everything's a separate entity. The WTA, all those governing bodies.
Yeah.
But then I don't know why didn't. I guess where I'm kind of confused at is this wasn't in conjunction with the player association. It was just the top 20 in both doing their own thing. Why not work together? It just feels like everyone's just doing their own thing, and I feel like if they all work together, maybe they'd get some shit done, right?
I think they're trying. I think they need to get more organized. The problem is center out. These guys are 21, 22. These guys are a little bit more older and established.
Yeah.
These guys have the power. If these guys were no, I'm not playing.
Well, that's the
in
tough.
The press conference said in the press conference. I mean, we're diehard tennis players. We just kind of know about this, but if the mainstream media picked up on this,
I don't think
media it'd be more pressure on them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if the word was out more and it was explained a little better, I just wish they were all on the same page about it. Because truth be told, that the only thing that will I feel move the needle, and Tiafoe was on a podcast. It's called Challengers. Have you ever seen this? It's these 2 guys. They're on the Challenger tour, and they had Tiafoe on, and they brought up, hey, what do you think about the lawsuit? And he goes, well, basically Tiafoe was like, the only leverage we have is not to play. Yeah. I don't trust these guys in the locker room not to. They'll say oh yeah, I'm with you, and then they'll be out there playing the next day.
First round, but if the top 20 all band together, we're not playing.
Yeah, that'd be something, but I don't know if they would all do that.
Wimbledon would be like, oh, fine, we'll just go
Yeah.
on without you.
We'll go on without you.
They're getting screwed. They should be making more money. Be a shorter season. It should. These guys that are on.
I don't know how you shorten the season, though. I mean, every tournament is its own organization. They all have their slot in the calendar. You can't. I don't know how you move. They all have to be on the same page in order to move shit around to make it a shorter season. I don't know.
It makes the product better. These guys are just getting worn out. They're fried. Like,
yeah. That I think the ones who suffer the worst is like that swing after the U.S. Open, that Asia swing. Yeah. It's like, who's gonna go all the way across the other side?
They have, a lot of these guys have to play to make money.
Right, to make money. Yeah, but you're like, ugh, you know.
In my eyes, they should just end the season after the U.S. Open. Like, who cares?
Yeah, that ATP final after that is kind of in a weird spot, but I get it.
November.
Yeah. It says the top 8. Whatever. I mean, I don't really get into it much.
Also, starting these matches so late and they're ending at 3 in the morning.
Oh yeah, the timing. They're trying to get better at that, but yeah, it does. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know what to do about it, but gotta come up with solutions. But so there was one little update on the whole lawsuit. I guess it came out that the ATP tried to force Shelton and Zverev to deny a lawsuit.
They wanted them to sign a letter.
Oh, right. Right.
They didn't want to be a
part of it.
That, and they tried to pressure. And then Opelka mentioned that.
Yeah, he testified that his pension was in danger or something like that.
Threatened his pension.
Right. Yeah. Allegedly, like through a third party or something. So a judge said it's amounted to a coercive, deceptive, and potentially abusive behavior. I don't know what the result of that is, other than you did it.
Back off. They can't come and threaten these players.
No, I get that, but like, okay, now what? Right? You know, I'm getting it.
I think it's still in the courts.
Yeah, it's still happening because there really wasn't much information on this, but kind of piggyback on the whole money thing. Did you see this was from the Nothing Major podcast or that Michael Acosta was on? And you want to get in that?
What happened? I thought the majors were all meeting and getting together and the tours, and then they were going to go like the Grand. What's the racing called? Oh,
the race basically. It's to
the car racing thing. The tour for the car racing.
Oh, are you talking about the Netflix thing? Freaking A, the Formula One. Is that what you're talking about?
Right. They wanted to have like a Formula One, like a tour where they would just go. You know, there'd be a certain amount of events, and then they would go to those events. Like they wanted to make the tour like kind of smaller and consolidated. And there were talks to do that.
I don't recall that. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
We're meeting, and ATP, and I don't know. I guess there's just too many people with too many interests.
I did not know that they were trying to.
I heard that like a year or two ago.
Oh, maybe it got buried. I guess. I don't recall that. I mean, there's always talk with the tennis tour, the pro tour, that it's too long, everyone hates it, blah 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 blah. We need to change it. But then you get down to that next level. It's like, well, how do you move these tournaments around, right? And now instead of like making it better, hey, let's make these 1,000 events 2 weeks from 1 week. I'm like, what? You're going in the wrong direction.
And I think those 1,000 events, you have to play them.
Yeah, you have to play a certain amount of them. I don't think you have to play every single one, but I think there's a certain amount of 1,000 level events as a pro at a certain level, like top whatever, right? You have to play those, or else you get penalized, probably financially. I don't know how they fix it. I mean, you're gonna have.
Tournaments are screwing them. The ATP screwing them. WTA screwing them. WTA should be bigger. Like people are watching women's basketball, and Clark is an exciting player, but like the women's tennis players are like the best.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
No offense, like they're good looking. The basketball, I mean, it's also a marketing appeal. The WTA should be bigger.
It should. They just, I don't know what they need to do. They need to market themselves better. Maybe get in on something like TNT and will help if they can highlight some of the ladies on there, for sure.
Well, all these streaming networks are competing for sports because it takes up a lot of time, airtime. So, that's another thing they're missing out on. Like NBA has a contract with ESPN and TNT.
Right.
Tennis, like I don't know, like I think each tournament has a contract or something.
That makes sense. I mean,
but if they can negotiate a whole contract, like that's how the NBA makes a majority of their money. Like these players and the teams, because they had like $1 billion contract with ESPN. They're missing out on that too.
I don't know how you do that. How do you
say all the ATP matches are going to be on Netflix? Give us a bid, and then they get like $1 billion, and then they spread that out to all the players.
Yeah, you have to work out that contract. That'd be interesting.
Well, that's what Roger Goodell, like all the commissioners do. Like, that's why they're paid so much.
Well, that's back to that discussion. We need a commissioner of tennis, right? There's not one head of tennis. There's 5. John McEnroe should be the commissioner of tennis. Jim Curry. There's too many heads in tennis. Every tournament.
They said too many chefs in the kitchen.
Too many chiefs. Not enough workers. Too many chefs. Not enough cooks. Something like that. I don't know. I'm murdering this analogy, but yes, there's too. It's too big. It's too big. Too big to fail. That's a tough cookie to crack. You just have to. I don't know.
From a fan standpoint, they got to do something. I would like a shorter season. I would like to see these guys more rested. I would like to see more team events.
It's a weird. I mean, it all comes down to the money, right? I mean, the players have the power to a degree because they're the name recognition. But at the same time, the pay is messed up. So only a certain amount of them. It's a weird cycle. It's a weird cycle.
It's like in an upswing now. There's more people playing. There's more people watching. We just saw the Miami Open, the attendance. Demand is there.
It's there. You just got to market it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Too bad David Stern's dead, but they could use like a guy like him.
Bring him back. The ghost of David Stern. Help the tennis protest. Yeah. So talk about money. I'm coming back to this with Michael Costa and Sam Querrey. I never thought of creating an LLC to sell shares.
Yeah,
the investors.
This was done. The golfers do.
I did. That's kind of cool.
They get like a club to sponsor them. So they need money for coaching, travel.
Yeah, perks. I think Querrey did that, and I think some of the perks were like 12% of prize money, and then first rights to major events. That's kind of neat.
That is like you get people in like Eastern Europe and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's like a loan shark or somewhere.
Well, yeah, there's always that problem, but like, oh, you did not win tournament, you lose toe. I thought it was a cool thing. I don't know if other players do that. So creating basically an LLC for yourself,
right.
And then you sell shares of base.
Earnings, right?
Well, you can structure it however you want, but you sell shares to investors. So, like we're talking about, say, people invest as a whole, let's say $250,000, and then you maybe put a plan that I'll get you, percentage over profit over your investment over the next, 2 or 3 years based on how good you are, or 4 years or whatever. And then you can do a little perks like we were talking about, percentage of your prize money, credentials at different major tournaments. So kind of like getting dividends of sorts. So treat it like an organization, like an LLC. That's a cool idea, but
like rich people that like tennis, that like the person they want.
Oh, you're
told not like people looking to make a return on their investment.
No,
it's family and like community members that like want to help a kid
for sure. Yeah. But I mean, interesting way. I'm not saying this is a get rich, scheme, but I feel like if you can get started, right? You need money to get started. You need equipment, travel, lodging, food, all that, coaching,
strings,
all of it adds up, and it's not a cheap sport to get into. And there is that trope of, hey, some like journeyman's been sleeping in his car to get on the court and a few hours.
Amazing athletes in the U.S. Like if they made it more affordable or something like that. I mean, you just look at Tiafoe's story or something like that. It would make it just so much bigger.
I mean, there's opportunities like when the Sarasota Open's coming around, they were looking for people to be host families for players, and I know a couple at the club, they hosted a player, and he didn't get past qualies, but he stayed all week as a hitting partner for everybody. So, there are those possibilities, staying with host families for, people are kind of getting into it. But, I mean, it's just all cyclical, right? Like, it's all about the money, and it's not a cheap sport to get into.
Yeah,
and
I just would like to see more of these guys. More people be able to at least give it a shot, and then more people that are good players be able to have a career.
Because, like, the typical progression, you got your ITF circuit, which used to be futures, and what are you getting, like $15K at most for those tournaments, and you're picking everything up on your own. There's a challenger level like we went to, and that's a little better. I think you get something. Then there's the ATPs, right? The 250s, the 500, and 1,000 levels, like Miami, right? And then your Grand Slams. But I mean, if you don't get through those progressions quick enough,
You don't get the opportunity.
you don't have opportunities, you don't get the money, you can't keep going. And I know there's alternatives,
Injured.
right? If you get injured, then you gotta, tumble back down to try to gain some ATP points. And I know there's an alternative. Karue talked about this. It's the UTR PTT, which is a pro tennis tour. You can get up to 25K in matches, and as long as you're outside the top 200, it's open to anyone. You have to be a certain level UTR, like a 12.5 for men or 9.7 for women. So you're pro, but maybe you haven't. But that's more money than you're getting in ITFs. Heck, that's even maybe more money than you're getting some challengers. And Karue did that. He talked about how he did that. That's how he decided, maybe I can do the pro thing. He started winning these UTR tournaments just to try it out. And you get a bunch of reps. And it was good. It was good. But so I like to see other things out there for players that, you're not stuck with the same, same flow, the same way of trying to make it in this sport. So I don't know. You're right. Things need to change. All right. Player standouts, good or bad. Mira Andreeva, she won Indian Wells. She won doubles with Schneider, but she did lose to Coco in the quarters in Madrid.
She's 18. She's going to be around for a while. Really, we saw her play in Miami. She's really tall, hard, and she's going to be a contender for a while.
Jack Draper, we talked about him a little bit.
Dude, he looks amazing. Like, he just blows guys out.
Yeah.
He is, I think, destined for a major, but it seems to be, mental and nerves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's awesome, though.
Yeah, he won Indian Wells, lost in the final of Madrid to Casper Ruud, and didn't get far in Monte Carlo, but let's see what he does here in Rome, and then I guess French Open coming up here. Roland Garros. Yep. Alexandra Ayala, my fellow Filipina, did really well in Miami. Graduated from the Dow Academy, repped by IMG. I think she got her spot in the main draw of French Open, but she hasn't really done well in the last couple tournaments. She did not win against Iga in a rematch at Madrid. She lost that in, I think it was 3 sets. But she's an interesting player. She's fun. I mean, the Filipinos are all out. They're loving it.
There's tons of them, right? And you said they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
I saw it. It's become more popular to play in the Philippines.
Yep. Yeah,
great.
I love it. You need a someone like that
Yeah.
just brings the whole people and country together. Yeah,
She's really crafty.
she's
Gritty.
really good. She's gritty. I love it. Mensick, Jacob Mensick, he won Miami.
Been around for a while, man. He hits it hard, and he's a big dude too. These guys are huge.
I mean, he's had wins against Djokovic, Fritz, Feast, Draper early in the year. I think he beat Shelton and Rude in Australia and Auckland early in the year.
He'll be top 10.
Yeah. He didn't get past Aaron Dulu at Madrid and lost in the quarters, but hey, good player. I love it.
Player.
All right, Alcaraz. Recently, we'll talk about it in our court to camera section, but his Netflix series came out, and there was a little clip that came out before that where he talks about having to handle the pressure of the tour and being like the next great thing and having, filling that gap with Sinner's absence. So then there was a lot of like, oh gosh, he's got to deal with this. And then he turns around and he wins Monte Carlo. First time. And he lost in the finals in Barcelona to Holger Rune, but I mean,
most exciting player maybe ever.
Yeah.
I think the thing with him is we just expect these really great players to dominate. Like he'll just lose randomly. He's inconsistent.
He's inconsistent, but
he's injury prone.
Yep. Djokovic, he's a variable. I don't know. He had an eye thing in Monte Carlo. He's losing early in tournaments. I mean, I think he'll probably play to French, but I don't think he cares. I think he's aiming for Wimbledon or U.S. Open. I don't know.
Agree. I think this is his last shot, probably to win Wimbledon, so he'll probably just go all in for that. Make sure he's completely healthy. And he can't just roll up to tournaments and win like he used to.
No.
More practice.
Yeah. So
the end of the line.
Yep. This might be it. I kind of signaled that like one of the clay tournaments like a month ago, or a few weeks ago. Like this might be my last time here.
Next year.
Yeah. All right. So Rublev got a new coach. He got Marat Safin. That was his idol growing up.
I don't think he's going that well now, right?
No, the last few his activity. I looked at this earlier. He has. Let's see, he lost in the third round in Madrid to Bublik in 3. He lost, I can never say his name, Fokina? Davide? Yeah. Second round in Barcelona, he lost. Lost in the third round in Monte Carlo, and he didn't get far in Miami, but yeah.
He's more of a hardcore player, though.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get far in Miami. He lost to Zuzubergs.
But I think that's where he made the change, though, right?
Right after Miami. That's when he got he had Safin for that UTS event. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But Penko 6-0 over Iga at Stuttgart.
Crazy. Owns her.
Literally owns Iga. What was this meme I had? Oh, that is. You saw this. You saw that. Speaking of his old baby, it's hilarious. Speaking of Iga, Coco got past her too, 1-1, 2 breadsticks in Barcelona.
Iga's owned her for their matchups, and this is on clay. Something's off there, but yeah, I watched that match, and Coco was dominant, especially on the serve.
So it's funny, I've been bad about following tennis, right? And then the WTA YouTube channel said highlights of Barcelona, Iga versus Coco, and I just clicked on it, didn't even look. I thought, oh, she didn't win. And you told me she won 1-1. I'm like, wow, this is last year's match. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, crap.
From the women's side, it just seems like Sabalenka is head and shoulders above everyone.
Right.
And I know Iga has been the best player on clay. Won French Open.
Yep.
The last couple of years in a row. But I don't know, man. Sabalenka, I don't hear her talking about pressure. I see her, having fun and
her
around her team.
Insta game is on point.
Dominating, so she's fun.
She's dominating. I agree. I don't think anyone has any answers at the moment.
Well, I think obviously Iga has to be, and I think Coco. I think those three for the French.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens, but I think I saw. Am I wrong on this? I thought I saw. What's the women's? Are they playing? What's women's tournaments playing right now? Is it also
They're
Rome?
in Rome.
They're both in Rome. Okay.
Yeah, it's not equal prize money.
Oh, of course not. I thought I saw. Unless this match already happened, isn't it? Iga and Collins playing next round. I thought I saw that somewhere. Yeah, we'll see. Federer making return to exhibitions. He wants to play exhibitions. Yeah. He wants to fill stadiums again. I would like to resume training a little, 2 or 3 times a week, and I hope to redo exhibitions, fill stadiums around the world.
He would, easily.
He missed.
Just go on tour with Nadal. They could. It's like a rock tour. Think about it.
As long as I don't do that dumb clay grass court thing that they did a few years back. That was dumb. If you look back on that, it's like that grass looks so bad. It just does not.
He goes to the country, and then the famous player from that country he plays, like he played Del Potro.
Oh, well, I think that was Delpo's. No, Djokovic did it. Djokovic did it for Delpo's last, hurrah or whatever. All right, tennis mafia / tennis Illuminati. We talked about this a little bit. This was, I guess, back at the NITA finals, ATP finals. Yeah. Djokovic had won, and then they all push him over next to the end of the line on the stage to put Sinner in the middle. Who was the runner-up? As if he's the anointed one.
Well,
he's Italian. It was a bunch of Italians. I get it, but what do you think of this? I just think it's funny. Like, hey,
this is under the Italian mafia.
I guess you got to watch out, right? Boyson and Dart had a little scuffle.
That was hilarious.
She said she smelled. So Dove jumped in and said, "Smell like confidence."
She asked the umpire if she could tell the opponent to put deodorant.
But that is hilarious. Smells like confidence. So electronic calling on the clay. There's been a couple bad calls. Zverev pulled out his phone, took a picture. It was an in call, clearly out. Apparently the rules is the chair umpire can't even get out of the chair. No. It's like you got to go with the line call. That it is.
Just stay with that. Getting out of the chair was annoying. We were watching Sarasota.
Yeah.
Multiple times a game.
Yep, that's Zverev thing. Yeah.
He's annoying with the umpires.
Yeah.
He's already had issues.
Yeah, that one I guess he wasn't as bad as he could have been. But yeah, you're right.
Change it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you can't do anything.
Sabalenka did the same thing.
Sabalenka did do the same thing, but I think they get fined. But I don't know what fix your shit. I noticed. I don't know where this is from. I saw this on X. This angle, a Tennis Channel must have done it. Directly behind, but it's moving kind of with. This is Draper, right? It's awesome.
Yeah. It looks like a video game.
It does look like a video game. I love it. They should do this all the time.
Definitely. Vote in the mix.
That would do it in TNT. Get people in it because if you know that's going to be
TNT will do something like that.
You know that'd be the dumbest thing if they did this way too high of an angle up. You ever see these tournaments where the angle is like way too high up and they're down?
Yeah, they have that one camera.
I hate that. Looks like crap to me. All right, the Alcaraz My Way. Court to camera. This came out. So so it came out on April 23rd. It's only 3 episodes. It spoilers a little bit if you haven't seen it. It is all in Spanish. Except for the moment when other people on there, like I think Navratilova was on it and a few other, people in tennis. When they speak English, they let them speak English. But for the most part, Alcaraz is always in Spanish. I did watch a version where I had the audio overlay in English, so it was weird because that's not Alcaraz's voice. So,
Dubbed in English.
yeah, dubbed in English. So I watched it dubbed in English. I mean,
You have to do that on the Netflix options?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, but it's good, but the language thing is kind of tough, and other things. He seems like just a kid. I mean, I forget how young he is sometimes. Yeah, he's a kid. He still lives at home. He's in there he's in his little childhood room, and it's like it's getting tough in here because of all the trophies. It's like,
Probably never home.
and he's like, but he's trying to the documentary really tries to portray that he loves being at home. He loves being with his family. He doesn't want to move out. Obviously, that's going to change at some point, but no one cooks food better than my mother. But then, so that's the first episode's more like him and his home life. And then the next two are more like his rise to where he was or where he is today, and kind of the pressures of being a pro player and blah, blah, blah. How much the Olympics really, he took that to heart.
How many stars do you give it?
Out of 5, 3.5. Yeah, I mean, it's worth a watch.
Yep.
But it's a little tough to watch with the dubbed. Another documentary, this is back from 2022, is McEnroe.
I've watched this one.
This is pretty good. It was originally on Showtime. Kind of just follows him through his career.
Well,
and
when he played, they went to Studio 54 and
Yeah.
partied, and they were rock
Yeah.
stars.
Yeah.
Now it's so serious, and they can't really do.
They can't do anything. Even the players here at the Challenger, like the one they had a host. He was at a host family. The player they had, he's like, I haven't drank since college because I might have to play again.
Right.
So they're straight and narrow.
Yeah.
So
Not as fun.
no,
Johnny Mac was like a legend. Still is.
it just says something that they could go party and then okay, I'm gonna go play.
Professional athletes were kind of like that.
Yeah, they didn't work out either. They're like,
I
okay,
think Wendell was the first one that really got into fitness.
right, yeah. The rest of them were like, well, even Agassi wasn't like. He never really took it super seriously. He was just super talented at first.
Yeah.
I mean, once,
He
got rid of the wig and got a trainer, then it's all different. But before that, he was just going on pure talent and fuel and, but, I don't know. So that was a good one. McEnroe, check that out if you like tennis documentaries. All right, Average Joe. So a little bit of local rumor scoop. There's Next Door, if you don't know what this is. It's a terrible website. It's a local social media site. You can get some information on it, but for the most part, I'm not a big fan. But I happened to click on a link that got spammed on this. Apparently, the Meadows Country Club in tennis closed. I don't know. I guess they're in financial peril.
This is common with these country clubs because they don't know how to run them, but someone is going to step in and buy it and then run it. The problem is that these members, they pay a lot of money. Sometimes, I know with the golf, you put in like a initial just to join, and they can't keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's public and private. I know there's from a golfer. The tennis was always nice. I looked at it. They had like a cool deck and pool, and you can order food. And
Yeah.
I think the reason I didn't join because the lights. I don't know.
They were just okay.
Yeah.
And it was always super busy with the members.
Yeah.
And it's very...
So it's temporary closed right now because of the financials. It's losing money, so they have to either try to sell it to someone to run it. They'll work it out, but it really sucks because it's a good club.
Yeah.
Now it's closed.
Yeah, it sucks.
Less of a golf thing to
Yeah.
With less places to play as a golfer.
Yeah, I mean, some of the comments in that thread were, it's been in trouble for a while. Everyone's just been kicking the can, and maybe it turns into something like Bobby Jones, where where it gets revitalized. I mean, that was a private club at one point, and it's basically public now. But
oh, okay, I didn't know the story. I thought that was just owned by the county.
Well, I think it was at one point it used to be a private, and then it kind of turned into this public type facility. But I mean, yeah, that sucks. I mean, I've always thought about it because it's super close, but it just never, found other places to play.
I usually play at night. I thought they closed at 8:30.
They closed early.
Yeah.
That was even earlier than that. That's what.
8. Yeah,
it's what turned me off. I was like, oh, 8, forget it. No, it just didn't work out. So our own little UTC mall's getting a Wilson store. Look at that.
Looks cool.
Yeah, I got to check out some of a bunch of rackets, some tennis balls, apparel, these terrible paddles here. But that's cool. I didn't even know that existed. I guess apparently this is near the upper level near Macy's, so got to check that out. Okay, so you're a UTR League player.
Yeah, so they have...
What's up with this national championship qualifier? I'm intrigued. Do I need to join?
So the way that it works here, there's a flex league, and you pay for 4 matches, and then you can challenge someone. You can challenge people to matches.
Right, just like every other flex league.
But I think you have to be within a certain number.
Oh, so
rating.
Yeah, UTR rating.
One up from you or something.
I have not played one up. Okay, gotcha, makes sense.
I joined because I want to get an actual number, but I feel like my number's low, and maybe I got to challenge someone higher because there's a guy that I play. He's a little bit better than me. He's a 6. I think I'm a 4.2. But the competition I'm playing with, there's only been out of the 4 matches. I've lost twice out of 8 matches, and the other ones weren't even close.
I hear that league. I knew someone who played it. I was playing someone out of Ultimate maybe a year ago or so, maybe 2 at this point. And I was asking, we got on the subject of this UTR league coming in town, and he said it's really weird because it's all over the place. The level of play is not, it's just sporadic, and you only get a few matches.
Yeah.
I was like,
my issue. I feel like I should be I'm up a little bit above where I am. Because the guys I'm playing, I can tell them a warm up. I'm like, I played a guy, great guy.
You were painting freaking sidelines when we played a week ago.
6'2".
Yeah.
And I can just tell them a warm up. I'm like, oh, all right, this is not even close. But I was told that there's a city championship that I may be able to qualify for.
Oh.
I gotta look. It's not well done. And yeah, I gotta understand exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm in those email. I get spammed by the guy that runs it.
Yes.
And he sends it so many times. It's kind of annoying. I took it off my spam list so I know what's going on, but I'm about ready to put it back on. Okay. But the only thing that intrigued me, he said national qualifier. I'm like, what does this mean? But yeah, let me know. All right, so my game, I did a singles ladder at Pain. It did not do well this time, but I've been having some weird nagging pains and injuries. My shoulder was bugging me for a while, so. But I was playing on a USTA team too. We tied for first, but really, because of points, only made it in second. So no sectionals in the USTA campus, unfortunately for me. I did get roped into a mixed league, but I told her I could only play on certain days. I said I couldn't play every Sunday. It's on Sundays, which is, I don't know. I got reached out literally like a text. I don't know. I must have got on a list last weekend. I must have got on a list, like reach out to Leo, he'll play. I got on a list like Friday, and I was like, hey, can you play Sunday? I'm like, yeah, for what? And he's a USTA. Fine, I'll sign up. I'll do this Sunday. And then it rained. I got canceled. And then then I got spammed, like marked out to me. Like, can you play this morning? I'm like, no, I can't play this morning in an hour. Sorry. It was just weird. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I've just been like doing my normal doubles thing. And then I hit with this other guy, Kyle, and singles I try to do once a week. That was from the singles ladder. And he's the one that's interested in going to Delray, and maybe he'll accompany us to Miami next year. I don't know. What's been going on? You've been on Ultimate and UTR, right?
Yeah, so I lost the first round of the playoffs in Ultimate. The guy was just better than me. I played terribly. I had a bad attitude. I went nuts on a bad line call. I immediately apologized to the guy. He was cool about it.
You've been using your swing vision thing or no?
Yeah, I looked at swing vision and it was in. It wasn't even close.
Oh, man.
And, I just overreacted. I didn't play well. The guy's better than me. I have to look who won the league, actually. Yeah, so it was good this year. It's mixed. Sometimes there's people that have won it that I'm better than.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year there was, 3 or 4 really good players. There's usually
Good.
1 or 2.
Cool.
So
New blood or same?
Yeah, new blood.
Cool.
I'm going to play in the summer, which is usually easier because less people play because it's hot.
Yeah.
And I think that starts at the end of May.
Okay.
And I'm playing UTR, 2-1.
Cool.
And then I have one more match, but the guy is like, I looked at his rating, it's a 3, so
Oh.
the guys that are 3, it hasn't been close. So we just talked about it. I think I should be rated a little bit higher than I am. I think I'm 4-2. I think I should be like around 5.
I've looked on the UTR site and I get confused because I see these tournaments.
There's
too.
also tournaments, yeah.
And I'm like, but I don't know if they're like for juniors or not.
No, it seems like they're mostly juniors.
And nothing to kill your confidence. You go out there and get creeped by a really good junior.
Yeah.
Because they can run forever.
And I've been working on my serve.
Yeah.
I usually play twice a week, like 2 matches a week, or just like a match, and then you and I just kind of do like a practice, and then we do a bunch of drills, and then we play a set or a breaker.
Yeah.
So when I do 3 times and I do 1 like a practice, whether it's just drills or serving, then my level goes up. So I've been getting back to that because I was serving well and then I stopped and then like I couldn't serve. So now
you're so.
doing that, and the tip that I got is like that kinetic chain, like just kind of pressing into the ground, like you serve like with your feet, like it's kind of like bending your legs or bending your knees.
It's not jumping up as much as pushing down.
Yeah, pushing down.
Yeah.
And that seems to be giving me a little bit more pop and better on my serve. So.
Your serve was doing well. Was it last week we went?
Yeah.
Yeah, your serve was.
It comes and goes.
Your serve was doing well. You were painting sidelines. Yeah. Your +1, your +1s were doing really well.
I think I'm just comfortable with you.
Yeah, we just go out there and play, and you just go for it.
You're not like a practice match.
Yeah.
We're friends.
Yeah.
Versus like playing a real match.
And you get a little.
Yeah.
Like tight, maybe.
Yeah.
I get that.
That's why people say like a practice player versus match player.
I mean, it helps to be kind of loose, but not too loose. When you're playing a match, sometimes I feel like
I played a lot, so I'm experienced. I'm not like super nervous. I used to get like pretty nervous, especially if I didn't know the person. Now I'm not nervous, but there are times in the match where I get a little bit nervous. Even yesterday.
Yeah.
Beat the guy 6-2.
2-0. 2-0, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But games coming along. Just gotta stay with it. Have a better attitude.
You haven't broke a racket, so there's that.
No. I'm usually yelling at myself. I never really yell at the player. This guy, it was a bad call, and then the guy was just kicking my ass too. So it was
All right. Well, there's another episode in the books. Hopefully, we try to get one in. Maybe after the French Open or during. We'll try to do a little better April was kind of busy for both of us, so we'll try to get a little better, step it up. All right. Well, thanks, buddy.
Go Knicks.
Good night. Good